Hello, Seiiti Arata. The bad laziness happens when you have little enthusiasm to do something that would be good for you. However, the good laziness is the one that reduces your motivation to do something that would be bad for you. And to know how to use more of the good laziness and less of the bad laziness, today we will get to know the 20-second rule. 20 seconds is everything you need to abandon your bad behavior and build new habits that will make you healthier, more productive, and even make you smarter. If you have the negative habit of eating junk food, you can try to create a healthy eating habit. If you have the habit of watching too many TV shows, you can try to create the habit of reading more books. And if you have the bad habit of using too much social media, you can try creating the habit of meditating. And if you already failed at switching bad habits for better behavior, the 20-second rule can be the technique that was missing for you to finally build the habits that you always wanted in life. The 20-second rule uses laziness in your favor. Laziness prefers the path of least resistance. Now, why is it that so many people prefer fast food over a healthy meal? Why is it easier to watch a TV show than to read a book? Why is social media so addicting and meditation is not? The main answer to all of these whys comes down to one word: laziness. From the evolutionary point of view, our brain was programmed to save energy. Human beings evolved in hostile environments where there weren't an abundance of resources. So we were selected to spare energy and use our resources for more fundamental activities such as eating, finding shelter, and reproducing. And that is why until today we always choose the path of lower resistance, even if we know that it isn't the best for our objectives. Even living today in controlled environments and with a relative abundance of resources, our brain is still programmed to spare energy. That is why we always prefer the path of lower resistance. And a lot of times this is interpreted as pure and simple laziness. Now, for you to understand exactly what the lower resistance path means, here are some examples. What is lower resistance? Ordering food on the delivery app on your phone or preparing a healthy meal by going to your kitchen. Watch a TV show or concentrate on reading a book. Scroll through social media feeds while you're laying down on the couch, or sit down to meditate. When we have options like this, we usually choose what is easier to do. And after we choose this option multiple times, we end up creating the habit of acting like that. A habit saves even more brain energy because we don't have to try too hard to do something that we're used to doing. It is at this point that you should use the 20-second rule. A 20-second obstacle is everything you need to abandon bad habits and use laziness to your advantage. The 20-second rule is a productivity technique created by Shawn Achor in the book The Happiness Advantage. And that suggests the creation of obstacles between you and the behaviors you want to abandon. The idea is to demand that your brain spends energy to be able to execute these bad behaviors. At the same time, you're making it easier to execute the new habits that you want to adopt. That is, you're making it so that path of lower resistance is the path that leads you to the good habit. The idea of this concept of inevitability is just to make it inevitable to perform the practice of the good habits and also the abandonment of the bad habits. For example, imagine that you uninstalled the food delivery app from your phone. You also logged out from your browser, from the same app. You also deleted the data that you had saved from your credit card information. Now, if you really want to order fast food online, you have to get up from the couch, turn on your desktop computer, log into the website, and then type again the credit card numbers. I know this isn't a really hard task, but even this small obstacle is much bigger than just having 2 taps on your phone and already ordering and paying for your favorite fast food. So this is the rule. You have to see what behaviors you want to abandon and create an obstacle between you and the realization of the good habit that you want to adopt. And at the same time, you have to see if you can simplify the conduction of a good habit that you want to adopt, letting the path of lower resistance be this, taking you to this new habit. You can apply the 20-second rule right now to start changing your life. One of the biggest advantages of the 20-second rule is its simplicity. You can start to apply the technique right now, before our conversation even ends. For example, open the configurations on your phone and deactivate all notifications from social media. This takes less than 20 seconds. After, take all those app icons that are stealing your energy and put all of these icons in a hidden folder on your phone. This is also going to be taking you less than 20 seconds. You can log out of all the social media apps that consume way too much of your time, and don't let your phone or computer be saving your passwords. So every time you want to actually use those sites, you will have to type in all your login and password details. A lot of these small attitudes of 20 seconds can change your habitual behavior. You can log out of streaming services if you want to watch less TV shows and be able to read more books. You can remove all your shortcuts from your browser or your apps on your phone if you want to access less of a certain website or an app and have more time to exercise. You can take out the batteries and put your TV remote in a drawer if you want to watch less television. There are several attitudes, but the logic is one here. The more energy you have to spend to do an action, the less likely you are to execute that action. You can use the path of lower resistance to make the execution of your new habits easier. Creating obstacles for the behaviors that you want to abandon is only one part of the technique. The other part is to make it as easy as possible to execute the habits that you want to adopt. The 20-second rule says that your chances of creating a habit increase significantly if you want to make the execution easier. The time it takes you to get things started should be maximum 20 seconds. For example, how can you create a healthy eating routine? You need to make sure that preparing meals at home with minimally processed foods is easy, practical, and enjoyable. To be easy and practical, then you need to have the necessary utensils in your kitchen. You need to have the healthy ingredients in your refrigerator and in your pantry. It is also necessary to have easy and tasty recipes already written down and accessible in your kitchen. Any attitude that shortens the preparation of the meal by a few seconds already increases your chances of adopting the habit of eating well. That goes for everything. If your objective is to read more books, you can create a reading ritual. You can always have a book in your hand. Always have a pleasant place with a good light to read in a privileged location in your house. Have a reserved hour for reading. If your goal is to do more physical exercises somewhere at your house or on your backpack, you need to have a handy pair of sneakers and gym clothes. You can find a gym that is between your house and the place where you work. You can leave everything much easier for execution. And this is a way of using laziness in your favor, and it has an advantage. Each time you repeat this behavior, you're forming a habit. And like that, your brain will need less energy each time that you need to execute these actions that will transform you into the person you've always wanted to be. We are programmed to save energy, but you aren't doomed to be repeating in a lazy way that bad behavior for the rest of your life. With the 20-second rule, now you can put obstacles to your bad habits and walk the path of lower resistance towards the new habits that you want to adopt. And you can reprogram your brain so that it learns that the good behaviors that you want to adopt are also the behaviors that save you the most energy. And this is turning laziness into your favor and turn it into a more productive, healthy, and intelligent person. And for those of you who want to go beyond all of that and learn how to use your time better, getting to know other productivity techniques, now I invite you to watch a special class from the Productivity Ninja course about time management. You can see that class right now by accessing arata.se/time management.